Alright, here is a fall themed, scarecrow themed, porch barn door insert. I'm going to start, I wanted to give you guys a good idea of what it looks like not painted. And then I'm going to move this stuff over here so that I color sort. I like to use painter's tape to hold down my pieces. Alright, so here I am just color sorting. I know I want those to be the same colors. I want these to be red. I want his nose to be red. And I want the word scarecrow to be red. This will be black. This will be black. This will be brown. And brown. I don't know what color I want to do the flowers yet. Or the Hello Fall. Those are really thin letters, so you want to handle those carefully. These will be orange, so I'm going to set those aside. This will be black. I think I want the brim to the scarecrow hat black. This will be Williamsburg blue. His hair, the scarecrow's hair will be yellow. I think I want this red. This will be burlap. This will be black. So I'm going to paint the scarecrow face burlap. I don't know what color I want to do that yet. This will be, I think I'm going to paint this deep ochre. I really like this color, especially when it comes to fall. So we'll put those aside. I'm going to paint this lush green. And I'm going to paint the pumpkin burnt orange. I'm using Deco Art Lamp Black, so ebony, for the birds. And then I'm going to use Deep Burgundy for the red. Alright. I think that's the plan. I don't need an extra piece of paper for this after all, so I'm going to put this to the side and save it for later. Let's go ahead and paint this lush green. I like to use makeup sponges. You can pick them up off of Amazon, get them at Walmart. I like the way that they put on a really even color, and it dries really quick. Whereas a paintbrush isn't as consistent. And when you're going over engraving like this, you want to use very little paint on your sponge and go over lightly so you don't get paint down in the score lines, engraved lines. And this will require at least 2 coats. And again, go over the engraving lightly. Okay, we'll let that dry. Let's go with burgundy. So Deep Burgundy from Deco Art. So just put a little on my makeup sponge here. This will definitely require at least 2 coats. And you guys can paint this however you would like. This is just to provide some inspiration on how to put this insert together. Got a goober. Okay. I'm going to use burlap for his face. And then I'm going to use Williamsburg blue for the scarf. Okay, and we'll set this to the side. Alrighty, I'm gonna move this. I think I am going to paint the hair marigold and the flowers. I'll move these over here. I want to put some burlap down since I have it on my palette and do a base layer over this just so that I don't have to do so many layers of yellow. And if you don't put a base layer down like this, you want to make sure to sand off or wipe off with like a baby wipe or rubbing alcohol the scorching lines so they don't seep through, or else you'll be fighting it. I'm going to paint these black, and I want to move these because I'm going to paint the beaks. So Deco Art lamp black. So I'm just gonna line up my sponge with the engraving line to the beak. And if you're not comfortable using a sponge, you can always use a paintbrush. Okay. I am going to use light cinnamon for the brown. Oh, come on. Okay, I think I'm gonna paint these. So I'll eventually go in with green, but I think I'm gonna paint the corn marigold as well. So I'm gonna go over these with burlap as well, just as a base layer. And if you get paint down in the engraving lines, I will show you how to clean that out so you can hold the integrity of the engraving lines. Where is my scoring tool? I just have it. Well, you can use like a toothpick. See if this will work. No, and let me go find my scoring tool. Okay, this is a scoring tool that I use. I got this at dollar store, but I can't find them anymore, and I've had this forever. And so I just carefully and lightly go through each engraved line and clean out the paint. You want to be careful not to jump the track, and if you do, just paint over it. I think that looks good.
Maybe. Not sure from where.
His name's Joey Dakota. Looks like he was on arrest.
Call Matthias. See if he knows it.
I know some people take like sewing needles and put them in mechanical pencils and use that as their scoring tool. I think on Amazon, if you look up weeding tools, you can find similar items like this. And the best time to do this is when the paint is still wet.
Maybe somebody else injected it. What are you two doing? Looking for more needle marks.
Infusers shoot up between their toes to hide the injection marks.
So far, he's just got the one injection mark in his right arm. Marks on this foot.
This one's clean.
I like that. Alright, I'm gonna put some marigold on my paint palette.
Looky here.
This will definitely require more than one coat.
There he is.
And I'm just gonna do the entire piece of corn, and then I'll come back in and do the green part later. You don't have to press hard, and you want to make sure you have just barely any paint on there. So see, I got some paint down in the lines again. I'll go back through and clean those out. Jump the line there. again.
So did you call the sheriff like I suggested?
Walt is at the Red Pony now, which he has already deduced to be a murder scene.
So the scumbag was murdered. Presumably, it's no problem for either of us.
Not until Walt starts asking questions.
And if the paint comes up like that, you can always sand it later.
So it's called a drug dealer, got all these numbers.
But I already acted like I didn't know.
Then don't say anything. Give us a Walt figures out.
We both should care. I torched Joe's entire stash, and when I did, he was scared for his life. Clearly, he had good reason to be. I think whoever killed him may be coming after him next. Days after I burned Joey's drugs, he shows up dead in my parking lot. Coincidence?
I'm the only money knowing factor. And even someone else did know. How would they guess Hector was moving with the hell?
Maybe because I spray painted Hector was in his house.
Well, that was stupid.
I never intended to be a criminal mastermind. And now, we have a problem. I am sure that Walt will go to George Kerr's house to investigate, but we might be able to paint over Hector's name before he does.
Maybe.
Right. Your mom might.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Alrighty, I'm gonna set this to the side.
Hey, what do you say?
Direct heart attack, respiratory failure, and cardiac arrest due to a large dose of heroin.
I'm gonna paint this burnt orange. So this is just a color match that I've got done at Home Depot of Deco Arts burnt orange.
What's the quote on that?
What did you find out in your question?
So, let's say vegetarian, anything else?
You don't have to do the center part if you don't want to, because this will cover it.
It's a rare shift not to have a few hair pieces coming through the ER. It's not just here, it's sometimes everywhere. Awesome.
I'm gonna do the stem brown.
Sorry, since there's just a raindrop to the lab and Cheyenne, but we're gonna pick the results back for a while.
Oh, shoot. I didn't let my phone
It's
back.
actually called light cinnamon. And burnt orange.
Can I ask you a question you might be able to answer?
Sure.
What's going on with my rock water hose?
My coach. I have absolutely no idea.
Ooh. This is why I like to keep baby wipes close by. Let's try that again.
Appreciate you letting me search the paper town. You know anything about him?
By the looks of this, I think we didn't have a girlfriend.
Have any enemies?
Yeah, me.
Okay,
What's that?
set that to the side, and then I am going to do deep orchard on this one.
Heroin overdose. What, 2 years?
No idea. You know everyone who's using narcos and business station.
Well, there's,
News.
pipes and lead sluice anywhere in this place. No track
This will
marks
definitely
anywhere.
require
It's odd.
more than one coat.
President's so concerned about solving the most suggested drug code. I don't know what that conversation said with my father's house.
Thanks. Do that. Looks like I have a suspect.
Negative guilt.
Okay, set that to the side.
Not so serious as you have the same kind of self-control. As much as I understand how the law works against your people, I just can't look the other way. If Hector kills someone, I can't.
Well, whoever the factor is,
You gotta play it by the rest.
investigate the victim's house here in Swindon.
It's fine. I know that move.
You guys look like a couple of pros. If I'm gonna be in sportsman country, I'm gonna be a sportsman, not a tourist. I understand that you might be a little upset. Did I get my message? Oh, the kid in the parking lot.
Okay, that will need another coat. All right, let's go. Let's see here.
I'm not Sheriff. Some kind of mistake. I was a kid, don't lose that much.
What color do I want to paint this sign?
Burned it up. Oh, then why didn't you kill
And then hello
We couldn't
fall.
find him. When we found the kid, turns out he couldn't reimburse our losses. So, see?
I think I'm gonna do hello fall in burlap and the sign in lush green. Let's just see what that looks like. That'll need another coat.
I'll give you 2 weeks to come up with the rest. Plus 20% interest. No way. Like what? Like the head of factory himself?
Okay. And let's go like this. Need to be careful with these letters. They are super thin.
Since Hector's still lurking around, at least we have money to clear any business. Move him out. What do you think? Won't anybody hear it tonight? Said maybe you old timer. I've not been here kind of before. Yeah? Very.
And let's do another coat of Williamsburg blue. And then I'm gonna use my scoring tool to clean out these lines.
Nervous, man? Probably not. His name's Joey Dakota. You heard anything about it?
Yeah, I heard that you really knock it off, Billy. You know the sheriff now answer, honestly. Honestly, the sheriff is my answer. And you can talk to me like that.
Okay, and then deep burgundy.
You got something to mention to me. I'm not saying that I'm
Alright. He's a res guy, he's a dealer.
that to the side. Let's add another marigold. And make sure you use very little paint on your corn. Looks good, not gonna worry about this. That, we'll paint the beaks and the birds in a minute. Let's do another coat of burnt orange. Had a lot of paint on my sponge, so I'm just going in the middle, kind of evening it out. Okay, and then blush green on this second coat. And then for the back of here, I feel like I want to do brown. So yeah, I think that'll look good. All right, let's do another layer of deep ochre. I'm pretty sure I'll need to do a third coat on this. I'm gonna do another coat. All right, on the birds here, I am going to use a small paintbrush. Let's try that. Get it wet, wipe it off, get some marigold, and paint a beak.
What was that? Sorry. That gives us scary.
Probably gonna add another layer. And for the eyes on the birds, I'm gonna use my dotting tool. And I need to get some white. Let's use light buttermilk, since that's what I have out. Just a little bit of that, maybe. Shake it up. There it goes.
fresh catch.
I'm gonna go back over that one bird with black.
So, you found a actually murdered.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and then dot his eyes. On the corn though, I think I want to float.
Makes me think
I'm gonna use an angle brush. So I always get my brush wet and then I dab all the excess water. I watch the water evaporate onto the baby wipe. And then I get a little bit of paint on the corner. And then I just work it in my brush. And then I'm gonna go over
Nice.
the outsides.
What makes you think he's become a vigilante?
Add some depth. My brush needs to be wetter. And as long as your paint is wet, you can maneuver it.
The device is not the only person who is frustrated by the limits of reservation law. No. Matthias is the only person.
I think I need a smaller angle brush. Let's try this one.
One of those knows. Call for the day. Yeah, great. Matthias claimed that he intercepted
So just a little bit of paint.
I don't want Hector know to show up at the bonfire unless
There we go.
Hector is Matthias.
You said you found Hector Blitz graffiti at his house.
I did. Matthias tried to keep me compliant. But the bug is not his problem.
And I got some paint on me.
Why not write Hector Blitz on the car alongside a red point like it all the way back to the victim's house? Is it possible that this murder is unrelated to Hector?
Okay.
But, given all the attention dealing with their civil suits, we should probably rule out all other suspects before you make an accusation that serious.
So, authorities
I like that. Alright, I'm gonna let this dry for a sec. We can dot that eye real quick. I want a smaller dotting tool.